subtract that from Q1 and add that to Q3, any numbers more extreme than those will give you an outlier. Okay, so what you do is we have Q1 and Q3. Okay, Q1 is 14 and Q3 was 62. We're going to add 72 to Q3 and subtract 72 from Q1. So any number of seconds less than negative 58, which obviously can't happen, or greater than 134 would be an outlier. Well, nothing is less than, there's no data value less than negative 58, obviously. So is there any data value greater than 134? Well, if you go to your list, again, we have it sorted out. So if we go to the very bottom of the list, 195, that's greater than 134. 130 is not greater than 134. So the only outlier is 195. Okay, and then the last thing I ask you to do here are to find a couple percentiles. Okay, so to find P30 means that we want to find the data value that is greater than 30% of all their data values. Okay, so we take that 30% of the number of data values. Okay, so that's 30% or 0.3 of the 27 data values, and that gives us 8.1. So what that tells us is that the 9th data value will be the 30th percentile. So basically saying the 9th data value will have 30% of all other data values below it. So in our list, if we go to the 9th data value, and that's what these little numbers are here telling us, 16, 15, and so on, the 9th data value is 19. So P30 equals 19. Okay, doing the 0.3 times 27 to get 8.1 and then saying that's the 9th data value, that is not the 30th percentile. The 30th percentile is the data value that has 30% of all other data values less than it. So we're looking for a number of seconds to find the man's face. Well, 19 seconds is the 30th percentile. Okay, which is basically saying that 30% of the data values are less than 19. Okay, so 30% of the students found the man's face in less than 19 seconds. Okay, that's what this is saying. Okay, and then for P90, it's very similar. You find 90% of the number of data values, which gives you 24.3. So there is where you round up to the next data value. So the 25th data value will be the 90th percentile. So again, in our list here, if we scroll down to the 25th data value, we get 105. So P90 equals 105. Okay, and again, what that means is that 90% of the students found the man's face in less than 105 seconds. Okay, and then for number 7, in this data set, the mean lies at what percentile? Well, the mean was 45, because we found that up here for the sample mean. So 45 is greater than what percent of data values? Okay, so if we go into our list again, well, the data value of 45 will be between 40 and 49. Well, there's 17 data values that are less than 40. So 17 out of 27. Okay, so the number of data values less than 45 is 17. There's 27 data values. So when we divide that out, 17 over 27. We get 62, or 0.629, which is about 63%. Okay, so we can round that to, we'll say approximately 63%. Okay, so the mean is at about P63. Okay, which means about 63% of the data values are less than the mean. Now, if you said 62, that'd be okay also. We're not going to get too picky on that. Okay, so that video is just an example of collecting data, how to actually collect it and organize it, give the study. There's a lot to think about when you do a study like that. And you don't want to, if you're working at a job and your boss says, to collect data in some way, he's paying you to do it. And if you go through the cost, expense, and time of collecting data that is meaningless, then that's going to be on you. Okay, so again, if you just kind of simulate your way through a study or an experiment, and that'll help you design it so it makes sense and you collect good data. Okay, so that's it for that one.